Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 13th. Thank you for joining me. A lot of people have been asking about readings. Yes, I have readings. Just link below in the description or the box below right here. It also goes to my website where you can check out all my readings. But moving on, let's get to your reading for this week. You have some pretty cool messages here. So the first card you have is the Seven of Spades, which really represents lining up with your spirituality. Is what I'm getting is that, this week, I think what this week is saying is you have to have faith, and it's asking you to really line up with your values even. And I'm not sure if you got this message last week. I feel like I said this to somebody last week, and it might have been you. So that message would be carrying through if I did. Or said something similar about lining up with your truth and being true to who you are. That's what this card represents. Like I say, a lot of people read spades as negative cards, but they're not. They're not negative. They have very good messages attached to them. Like I said, it's a card of making sure that you line up with who you really are in any situation that you are involved with. It's kind of a card of being given choices in life. Sorry about that. I just had to pause the video. There was some noise in my house. So, again, we were on the Seven of Spades, and, it represents lining up with your spiritual truths, which you're going to have to do this week. Next, you have the Jack of Spades, and that's why this really strengthens that message. The Jack of Spades is another card of being spiritual and lining up with what is true to you. And what I was going to say also about this Seven of Spades, and the message just popped back in again, so I know that you need to hear it, is that you're going to be given choices, and both of these cards do represent choices, and you're going to have to pick the one that lines up with your morals. That's what both of these cards are saying, is, again, with your spiritual truth, and being, and having morals. The King of Spades, I often call it the lawyer. And the reason I call it that is because the King of Spades, which is two steps up from this Jack of Spades, is somebody who, they do things and they do a good job. They do a great job at what they do, lawyers. They operate at a very high level. However, they do it with the purpose of making money. So they kind of have that ulterior motive when it comes to what they do. The Jack is a little bit lower, and he hasn't reached that level of, some people view that as corruption. It's not really corruption. They're just doing their job, but he hasn't reached that level yet. He's still making choices on whether or not he wants to go that way, that direction, which, again, no judgments at all on what the right direction is for anybody. And that's one of the things about the cards, is that they don't make judgments, and neither does the universe. You might be one of those people who needs to make those calls and be a lawyer and live that way. So that's what this card is saying. It's saying make a choice, but make sure it lines up with your values. And your values are going to be different than everybody else's, but it just says, kind of make the right choice. Next, we have the Six of Hearts, which is a great card. It's a card of success. It's a card of plugging in, too. It represents two people coming together. I always read the Two of Hearts as the best love card. But this is my other favorite love card because it represents mind, body, spirit plugging in together. It's kind of like the perfect connection between two people. So this card represents a lot of things. It represents success in something in your life, not just love, but, success in other areas. But it also represents, if you are single, that there is somebody out there for you, and you could go get them right now. It's a card that says get out there and you will meet this person. This is like soulmate level, twin flame level type of stuff right here with this card. It's very powerful. For those of you that are in a relationship, it just means that you'll really be connected with your partner this week, and you'll be receiving a lot of support from them, which is another, really positive message. And then finally, you end with my favorite card in the entire deck, the Ace of Clubs. It represents good things coming to you in every single way, shape, and form. It represents success. Again, you have two success cards here. So I think, with all the spiritual stuff, with all these choices, I think what it's really saying is that you are going to make the right decision and you will be successful. This is a very spiritual, very mental card. It represents the brain. It represents using your intuition. And all of that to reach abundance. But this card is better than the Ace of Diamonds. The Ace of Diamonds just represents more money. This represents abundance in your entire life, everywhere. Love, money, spirituality, the list goes on and on. It represents all those things and abundance coming in to all those places. And it's going to be new. I feel like it's going to be something new for a lot of you. You're going to be feeling like it's like a situation that you haven't experienced in quite some time. So I think that ends that. Thank you for watching this reading. And like I said, you have the most interesting reading of the week pretty much so far. So have a fun week.